Another picturesque Friday evening here in Spokane, Washington. We have Arena Football League action inside Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena as the Shock take on the LA Kiss. A must-win game for both of these teams as we head to the midway point of the 2015 season. Sam Adams alongside Mike Peterson. Thank you for joining us here on a Friday night. And we talk about the desperation factor for the Shock. They're looking for answers. They may find one in the quarterback of the future. We're talking about Warren Smith.
Warren Smith is a multi-talented quarterback, throws very well, accurate arm, and has a mobility factor that Spokane hasn't had in the quarterback role since the departure of Eric Meyer. He was the PIFL MVP last year. He knows how to get wins. He understands these rules. How quickly will he settle in as a Shock starting quarterback tonight?
He will make his AFL debut tonight as a starting quarterback. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, for the LA Kiss, Mike, we see a veteran quarterback who actually the Shock saw on their own roster just a few weeks ago, Matt Baziner.
Yes, Baziner. You're right, Sam. Few games ago, we did see Baziner. Spokane released him. He did not have a very good outing with Spokane. He finds himself in the starting role, and you know he wants some revenge tonight. So big revenge factor with Baziner. Another team very unsettled at quarterback. That is the story of tonight. Who's going to raise up at quarterback and get the job done for both these teams?
Musical chairs from both these teams. The QB position. We'll see who sticks here tonight. It's the Shock and the Kiss, and it's straight ahead on SWX. Evening in Spokane. Spring is here in the Northwest. With the weather so nice, you wonder why we're indoors. But I'll tell you why. We got a great matchup here tonight as Spokane has a chance, a golden opportunity, Mike Peterson, to get its season going against the LA Kiss.
And as we mentioned in the open, they're going to do it offensively with yet another new starting quarterback, Warren Smith. Just more intrigue added to this game.
See the Shock faithful lining the boards, getting ready for this one. Welcome wherever you may be tonight. Maybe you're watching this right now on the Watch SWX app while you're inside to enhance the viewing experience. Now the LA Kiss will receive after the Shock won the coin flip. They deferred, so the Shock will receive in the second half. They will kick off here to start this ball game. And the LA Kiss, our first look at them ever inside Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. The Shock wearing the orange jerseys and the blue jeans, as I like to call them, will kick off. And our kickoff is always sponsored by your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores. And here we go, folks. This will be off the net, so a good kick. Return down to the end zone, out to the 5-yard line. And returned by DeMarco Sampson just past the 5, out to the 6-yard line. So our first look right now at the LA Kiss offense. And Matt Baziner at quarterback. You see Nick Truesdale there. He's kind of a jack of all trades here. Truesdale, a standout wide receiver in college, and on special teams as well. He's a big fella at 6'7". But as we said, Baziner, the quarterback, the former Shock QB. First play from scrimmage, quick out to the far side, wrapped up at the 10-yard line. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the LA Kiss after the 5-yard gain. And for the Kiss, it'll be Morgan. More on him in a moment. Tyron Lewis, DeMarco Sampson, your wide receivers, and then Chad Anderson. Your offensive line will be Madsen, Parker, and Tavaga. Second down, and we'll call it 6. Quick pass over to Lewis, and Lewis will get just enough for the first down. Take a look at the Shock starting defense now. And one of the best starting fronts you're going to find in the Arena Football League. Sack master James Ruff and the big fella Terrence Taylor. And then the linebackers will be Summers and Gilliam. Dodd Masters, Dace, and Pope, your secondary. First and 10 for LA. Morgan, the high motion man. They'll run a screen play. This is Sampson who stopped immediately. Now, Morgan is going to be a go-to guy. He's a veteran in this league, Mike, and he's on the verge of a big milestone.
Very big milestone. He's already number 10 in AFL history with 218 career TD receptions. But the really big milestone, 150 receiving yards, and he's at 10,000 receiving yards for his career. Big-time target.
Just under 150 to go for him. 2nd down and 9. Throw over the middle. Almost intercepted. Sam Pope with a great play, and he almost picked that one off.
Well, and you saw Pope on the far side with a tackle and a no gain, and then ball a little underthrown. I tell you, Morgan had him beat. You'd sure like to see Pope come up with a catch there. That'll go down as a breakup, but Morgan was open.
And the Shock want these defensive backs to take some risks. Don't play to not lose. Step up to the plate, try to make some plays. That's what Pope did. 3rd down and 9. Deep play. Throw to the end zone. Over the shoulder. Bobbled and caught for the touchdown. Donovan Morgan.
And that is classic Donovan Morgan. He'd had Pope beat on the play before. It was an underthrown ball by Baziner. That's why it's so important to catch the ball as DBs and get interceptions. What's he do? Morgan comes back again, gets open over the top, easy 6.
36 yards on that touchdown pass, the first on the young evening, as the LA Kiss score on their opening drive.
And when I say easy kiss, that's by Donovan Morgan standards. That's not an easy catch, but he makes it look routine.
Bobby Zalud tacks on the point after, and the LA Kiss have drawn first blood here on the road. Your score 7-0 LA on a bomb from Baziner. In the house, I'm sure they've been working on their material to get in under the skin of the LA Kiss. Let's take a look at our keys to the game. They're brought to you by Spokane Boys, your answer for all seasons.
Well, as far as quarterback wide receiver combo, let's see how Warren Smith does. Need to consistently be on the same page, which they haven't been this year, and it makes the offense sputter. And a stat to track here, if you're completing 65-70% of your passes, usually tells you you're in sync. And too many missed tackles. Poor tackling has led to big plays, keeping drives alive. Why don't we add don't miss interceptions as well, because that missed interception led to a touchdown.
And here we go, ensuing kickoff off the bar. The Shock lucky to just get a return, and they'll get a good one out to the 10, to the 20 now. It's a foot race down the sidelines and in for the touchdown, Sergio Gilliam. How about that play? A bar ball. He was the second option on that play, and he took it to the house.
Outstanding alertness by Gilliam, because he's the front man, not the deep man, but he had his head back, knowing the ball was short. That made him alert, so he's able to grab the ball. That is just a veteran play by Gilliam, and an athletic one at that.
We'll have to get the official distance on that one. Looked like it was right at the goal line. Here's Rowan on the point after. I mean, that had disaster written all over it. Dodd Masters had kind of misjudged it, frankly, just a little bit. Those bar balls always tough to judge. Take a look at this funny hop.
Now, but you can see Gilliam, he's looking back. Instead of looking at the on-rushers, he's looking at the ball. That veteran move and alertness sets him up to grab the ball, and watch this block downfield. You'll see a body fly, and that's a little cutback. He's into the end zone. Huge answer for Spokane.
We'll call it 52 yards in the play of the night on a young night. It's still early here, just past 7 o'clock. And how about that play? You talk about just sucking the air out of that sideline from LA, which they felt, hey, we've got some swagger going on the road for the first time to Spokane. We march right down the field, get a touchdown. Well, in the span of just seconds, Spokane answers on a 52-yard touchdown return.
And Terrence Sanders, one of the best kickoff returners of all time, a mainstay on Shock special teams, no longer with Spokane. That's the first kickoff return for touchdown since Sanders has not been on this team.
Absolutely. Dodd Masters, his long this year, 27 yards. He's averaged 18.4. That's respectable on returns, but no touchdowns. But leave it to the guy who wasn't even supposed to get the ball, Sergio Gilliam, and he takes it to the house. A Shock veteran. He's been here before. He knows little nooks and crannies here inside Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. That's beneath the slack net, into the seats down there, the plush leather recliners, and now a pigskin to boot. Nice catch. All right, let's take a look at the keys to the game again, brought to you by your Napa Auto Parts stores. We're looking at the LA Kiss, Mike.
Well, at the line of scrimmage, the Kiss have to bring it tonight. They are last in the AFL in both sacks allowed offensively and also defensive sacks. No pressure, you got no chance of winning. And D and special teams with an anemic offense, you've got to get points elsewhere. It can come from D and special teams.
From the 5-yard line, Baziner's throw well out of the reach of Sampson, incomplete, covered by Dace. Spokane's defense coming in with a league worst 56.5 points per game allowed. Second to last in the league in total defense, 326 yards per contest. But I would say if you know this league and you've seen this defense up front, you know this team is better than those numbers would indicate. More on that in a moment. Short play, this is Morgan who had that touchdown and works his way through a couple of defenders. Dodd Masters trying to strip him of the football. It's a first down up to the 19 on a gain of 15.
Well, a big contributor to those big numbers on defense is the fact that offensively, Spokane has sputtered.
Exactly.
Last week there was a pick six. That's on the offense, but those points go against your points allowed. And the poor field position the Spokane D has had to contend with. This is a much better D than what you're seeing on paper on points.
On 1st and 10 from the 19.
Donovan Morgan's pass. Reception is complete.
And they'll give him a catch.
And the little kid gets a football.
Once again, be careful if you are in the front row, folks.
They just want to make sure that youngster up in the front row is all right as we have another look.
His dad's standing, I presume his dad, uncle, someone, and then
he's just landing on the hand grenade for him.
Yep, and then Donovan Morgan, classy move, hands the ball to the youngster, and he goes away with a nice souvenir football.
Another gain of 15. Screen play now. Cutting outside along the dasher board. We await the ruling. Let's see. It's Lewis.
Into the wall, down by contact.
Okay, so it'll be short
First down.
of the end zone, but it will be first down and goal now for the LA Kiss on a gain of 13.
Number one, Donovan Morgan. He gets it done. You watch, he's the lead blocker out here. You didn't see that before, but that's what busted it loose. He absolutely manhandled Dodd Masters on that block to spring his receiver.
Quarterback on the run, Baziner into the end zone, touchdown. So the LA Kiss have responded to retake the lead on a Baziner touchdown run. Boy, for two teams that have had trouble scoring early on in the season, we're on pace for a shootout here on a Friday night in Spokane.
Efficient drive. What was that? Check that. 3 plays? 4 plays? Didn't take long.
Five plays in all.
Seemed quicker than that, nonetheless.
Another PAT through the slack net. And on the VPI Windows Custom Fit for Life scoreboard, LA retakes the lead on the legs of Baziner, 14-7. Tonight's Spokane Shock AFL coverage on SWX, brought to you by VPI Windows. VPI Windows Custom Fit for Life. The water raging through downtown Spokane. The points are flowing inside Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. Matt Baziner, 6 of 8, 73 yards, a touchdown so far. Number 10 on your TV screen right there. And the LA Kiss, folks, looking for their first win on the season, lead the Shock 14-7. Dodd Masters back to return. Gilliam is your kind of safety valve. This is out from the end zone. Dodd Masters through one tackler up to the 15. Nice return for Richard Dodd Masters. And now, with 21 points already scored so far, our first look in his AFL debut at rookie quarterback, Warren Smith.
And look at those at the bottom. That tells you all. MVP of that professional indoor football league. Absolutely the same rules as the AFL game minus the nets.
Carter, the high motion man. Smith's first pass thrown a little bit behind the receiver and incomplete to Mike Washington. Take a look at the Spokane offense. It is Washington. Call him the joystick for good reason. Rashad Carter and Anthony Amos, the wide receivers. The offensive line, former Cougar Patrick Afif, Sam Tapua, and Mark Jackson. They've allowed just 9 sacks all season. Throw over the middle, thrown behind Amos, who hangs on to make the catch at the 21-yard line. 19, we'll call it the 19. Boy, oh boy, that almost took his head off as Amos makes the catch.
Amos is really coming up, and that was dangerously thrown behind Amos. And boy, did he bail out Smith with a phenomenal catch.
16 yards on the first AFL completion for the rookie Warren Smith. 1st and 10 from the LA 19. Amos is the motion man again. They'll set up a screen. Looked like a screen now underneath. This is Carter. Carter gets wrapped up at the 13-yard line, a gain of 6. Take a look at the LA Kiss starting defense. Michael Spicer, Daryl Cato Bishop, Dominique Pittman, the defensive line. The linebackers, J.T. Gilmore, just signed this week off of the Arizona practice squad earlier in the year. He's at the MAC linebacker. Brown, Scott, and Benton, the defensive backs. So the Shock are marching on the first AFL drive of the rookie quarterback, Warren Smith. 2nd down and 4. Underneath, this is Carter up to the 5. And with that, they're inside the KFC red zone. The Spokane Shock marching downfield to the 3-yard line.
Really like that play call with Carter, the high motion man. Just a little flick to the outside with momentum going north-south. And my goodness, was there a running lane after the catch.
You can tell the playbook drawn up right now. Very safe plays for Warren Smith to get acclimated to this next level of the indoor game, the highest level. From the 3, Smith thrown to the turf. Arguably could have been a horse collar, but we'll have to wait and see. It's a loss of 2 on the play out to the 5.
Yeah, the reason I believe that wasn't a horse collar is it looked like he grabbed jersey. Horse collars when you get inside the shoulder pad area. It looks like he just grabbed, he just grabbed the shoulder pads, but not inside that neck area between the helmet and the shoulder pads. So legal tackle.
Smith, an explosive runner. We'll see what he dials up here on 2nd down from the 5, aloft into the end zone. Incomplete. Amos, the intended man.
No one open on that. Double coverage there, just throw into an open spot. Best to just release it quick, not take negative yardage, and you've got 2 downs left to play with.
So it is now 3rd down and goal from the LA 5-yard line.
In the red zone, completion percentage not as important. How you manage downs, it's everything in the red zone.
See the formation with the receivers all flooded to the left. Screen pass. Washington into the end zone. Mike Washington from 5 yards out for the score. It is his 10th touchdown on the season. And the Shock have scored for the 2nd time here tonight. Tell you what, safe playbook, right? And I tell you, Warren Smith has executed very well in the early goings.
Yeah, a lot of what they call 30 routes too, the 3-step drops. We saw a few 50s, which are the 5, but just a lot of quick hitters. You get in rhythm and you get the jitters out. That's how you get in sync.
Whole lot of shaking going on inside the trenches. We'll see who jumped first. Our officials here tonight in just a moment.
Offsides defense number 52. That penalty's declined.
The referee, Dave Kataya. Your umpire, Mark Warner. The head linesman, Kenny Leffel. Line judge, Michael Livingston. Back judge, Kevin Kaiser. And the replay will be Carl Paganelli. And again, boy, oh boy, we're just not going to get this kick off, are we?
And this will be Spokane.
Well, they practiced everything apparently this week except for extra points.
Prior snap, false start offense. 55, 5-yard penalty.
So that'll be on Jackson, the offensive lineman. Hate to bark out their numbers when they get called for the false start. That's the nature of the business.
Well, the official does. Fair for you to do it, Sam.
And here's Rowan's kick. Oh, I think they got a fingertip on that one.
When the kickball and extra point crosses the line of scrimmage, the ball is dead. The try is no good. Media timeout.
Rowan's struggles continue, but the Sharks score on the debut drive for Carson Kaufman, or excuse me, for Warren Smith, 14-13. Back, and so are the Sharks. They're back on the scoreboard, 3:17 to play in the first quarter. High scoring affair, LA Kiss 14, Spokane Shock 13. They score for a second time tonight on a Mike Washington touchdown catch. Let's go down to Mike. Mike, your 10th touchdown of the season. Break down the play for us if you can.
Yeah, that was a stacked left formation. Usually when you have three receivers lined up directly behind each other, defense usually play like a three-way. They probably pressed the point and the two got spread out. So that opened up some more space for like a little bubble route or something quick. So AO did a great job with the bubble route. Warren made a good throw, and I just, do what I do best.
Truesdell with the recovery, the receiver into the end zone. Mike, what do you think about that play from your receiving compatriot?
Hey, that's what we needed on special teams, man. We was kind of dragging this whole season on special teams with the kicks, with the missed extra points, with the ball not touching net and kickoff. So, that's just an extra boost, man. It's the reason why they call it special.
Hey, Mike, real quick, while we got you on the horn, I've got to ask you about this new quarterback. He plays like a veteran. I understand he's really immersed himself with the playbook. What do you think about Warren Smith?
Man, he's a bookworm with that playbook, man. He surprises me when I came in for camp. And he's always want to learn and improve himself, man. He got a veteran command presence. Even though he's a rookie, he take command of the huddle. And he's just confident, man. That's what you need out of a quarterback.
Mike, looks like you guys have your swagger back. Keep it going, and best of luck for the rest of the ball game.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, the joystick, Mike Washington. The Shock have the lead for the first time tonight, 20-14. Special play on special teams. Truesdell off the bar ball, and the Shock lead it 20-14. Radical Rick patrolling the sidelines along the dasher boards. Spokane leading it 20-14. There's Gilliam ready to go, and tell you what, this has been some night so far, Mike.
There's been plenty of points and a ton of excitement. We're not even out of this first quarter yet, Sam.
And Rowan might have redeemed himself after missing the PAT. He gets a bar ball. We'll see if he makes it two. This time, it's through the slack net, so it will be a touchback for the LA Kiss. You want another look at that play and the play by Truesdell? How about this?
Let's do it.
Coach this.
No, and the all-important bar ball. And now Truesdell, how bad's he want in? Stiff arm his own player out of the way. Get out of my way. I want in there. That's a big man. 6'6", 6'7", 240. Gets his mitts on the ball. He's a freight train.
They've been trying to find a way to get this guy in the football field. Wide receiver, he brings a lot of things to the table. You cannot coach 6'7", and when he has the long wingspan on the field, you see what makes him so good. Meanwhile, throw well behind Morgan by Baziner, so Baziner may be feeling the footsteps right now.
Yeah, and that, again, quarterback, receiver, clearly not on the same page. Baziner, that's a 10 series, a one-step that ball's out of your hand. Morgan was thinking more of a 30 series or the three-step drop, wasn't even looking.
Tyron Lewis, high motion. He's got the catch at the 10-yard line, avoids one tackle by Pope. Near the first down marker, down at the 14-yard line, gain of 9, a yard shy of that first down.
Now, this is where these missed tackles come in, these little things. Pope comes torpedoing in, doesn't break down, and just does a dive in the open field and misses a tackle, so extra yards are gained. Big difference between 3rd and 1 and 4th and 5. These are the little things that need to be cleaned up on the tackling for the Shock.
Throw to Lewis, who was wide open at the 20-yard line. Stiff arm on Dodd Masters, thrown into the dasher board, but picks up the first down inside the 10-yard line on 3rd down and 1. A gain of 28 yards on that reception.
Too easy. Spokane so far has been very soft in the middle on these post routes. Look at the separation out there. Big play and another red zone visit for LA, whose offense literally was anemic last week. Didn't even score a point in the second half. they're looking pretty good in this first quarter.
Zehner, pocket collapses, has to get rid of it. Pass complete. And it's Pope on the tackle. Yeah, Mike, coming into the ball game, LA averaging 34.5 points per game. That is the worst in the Arena Football League. There are only a few touchdowns off that pace through one quarter of play. At the end of one, it's Spokane 20 and LA 14, but the Kiss are threatening. And we've got a 6-point game as we head into the second quarter. You're watching Arena Football League action on SWX. Has sprung in the Northwest. Boy, oh boy, that's a shock fan dressed up like a member of the Kiss Army.
That's just what I was thinking. The star on the, quite a mask.
Yeah, we hope it's a mask. Welcome back, the LA Kiss. Parked at the 6-yard line, second down and goal. Baziner lost the football, scrum for it. And I think the Shocker, the bottom of the pile. And they have recovered.
I think Ruffin's sitting on that ball at the bottom of the no. Yes, that is Ruffin. So number 44.
James Ruffin, who has forced 2 fumbles this season, comes away with a huge fumble recovery. They simply fumbled on the exchange, and the Shock have the football back.
And what I couldn't tell is it got, his own man batted it.
Yeah.
It almost looked like the fullback going up to block, batted the ball away and loose, and Ruffin alertly jumped on the ball.
So Spokane with a 6-point lead, and now with the ball back, and amazingly, 34 points have been scored so far. This is just the Shock's second offensive possession. So we have our second look right now at the rookie QB, Warren Smith. Might have been run by design there, up to the 10-yard line. He could run like crazy when he played in the PIFL, where he actually made a league-high 24 straight starts from 2013 to 14, playing for the Trenton Freedom right in his own backyard. He's from Forked River, New Jersey, so got to play just near his hometown in Trenton.
And he racked up the yardage there too, Sam.
He did. We'll see if he can get some yardage here on 2nd down and 7. Ball batted away. Pass was intended for Truesdale.
And Cato Bishop is going to have an illegal stance, illegal defense. I'll explain why.
Illegal formation defense number 2, shady.
So
he must be head up with the center. That's a 5-yard penalty, and we will repeat 2nd down.
These officials are trying to put you out of work, Mike. You just want to explain the play, and the referees are doing your job for you.
He did, and I love it. It's no further explanation needed. But the defensive linemen have to remain in a stance. So if that lifts up at all, watch, see, he lifts up and he's in the gap. So there's 2 infractions there. One wasn't in his stance. Number 2, you can see him in the gap.
Joystick, the high motion man. Throw is to Washington. Washington kind of stumbled as he tried to set his feet there. But he'll pick up the first down. So 2nd down and 2, conversion, gain of 8, and the Shock move the chains. Washington's yards per catch way up this year. After 106 catches for 1,356 yards last season. This year, before this contest, he's now well over 600 yards. 38 catches, 598. More on that in a moment. Washington is the motion man. I believe he was offsides. So Washington, 15.7 yards per catch this season. That's almost 3 full yards more than a year ago.
On the high motion man. That's a 10-yard penalty. Also requires a dead ball. Repeat, 1st down.
He's trying to put me out of work now.
Yeah. Or you put him out of work.
You got to jump the gun.
You're calling it before the white hat.
Yeah.
Astute eye by play-by-play Sam Adams here.
Well, and I think, frankly, that happens a lot, doesn't it? The high motion man. I mean, it's one of those plays that typically happens but rarely gets enforced.
You are absolutely correct. In fact, on the Baziner's fumble, I thought Donovan Morgan was offside by about the same amount.
He was looking for Carter. One of the flags hit Smith as he was on the run past the 15-yard line. Well, what do you think?
I'm thinking that's in the area of holding on the offense. That's typically what you see. And with a couple flags, I'd say it was probably pretty blatant.
You don't have to throw it to the quarterback to get the point across, though.
Smith was zigging and zagging.
Holding, offense number 51. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Yes, when you think about it, Mike, with two teams coming in a collective 1-10, you'd expect some penalties.
Right there at the center, so you can see a. Yep, you see the left arm. The left arm latching on and just pulled the defender down. Quite frankly, just got steamrolled by the nose guard on that one, Sam.
I can't remember the offensive lineman for the Cleveland Browns back, I believe it was in the 90s, though, but when the flag went right into his eye, I mean, Smith has got to be thanking his lucky stars that didn't happen to him on that scramble. On 1st and 26, it's Truesdell. All sorts of room. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. On 1st down and 26, Nick Truesdell, this 6'7" speedster, takes it 43 yards for the score.
And speedster he is. You're talking 6'7", and he's outrunning defenders into the end zone. Big frame and huge stride.
Oh my goodness, it's Nick's 6th touchdown on the season after scoring 9 as a rookie last season. Rowan on the point after, and now Truesdell has accounted for 2 shock touchdowns on a fumble recovery and now on a touchdown reception. Timing is everything, and Nick just in the nick of time. 27-14 on the VPI Home Solutions and Windows Custom Fit for Life scoreboard. Truesdell from 43 yards out. The GLBs bringing the noise. Spokane bringing the pain. They lead it 27-14. Rowan to kick off after a Truesdell 43-yard touchdown reception from Smith. And a jump here on the return. So good special teams once again for the Shock. VPI Home Solutions scoring recap. It'll be 2 plays for 43 yards and a touchdown. Let's take a look. Hey, there's Nick. Nick, by the time we're done with this interview, you might have scored again. 2 touchdowns already. A unique night for you, to say the least.
Yes, sir. I've been working hard ever since all offseason. I got hurt right before camp. I tore my hamstrings, and I've just been working my butt off to get back, and it's finally paying off. Coach putting the right plays in, putting the right people out there all around us, and it's going to be a good season. We're going to turn it around tonight.
Well, I want to, obviously talk to you about that touchdown catch, but first, how about that special teams play? What kind of background do you need to read that hop to get it like you did, and then to stiff arm one of your own teammates to get in the end zone?
Well, I was just hustling down. Our Coach Cruz has put an emphasis on special teams this week because we're usually top 3 in the league every year, and it's been kind of bad this year. We're in like the bottom 8. So he's been putting a lot of emphasis on it, hustling down. I just happened to hustle down. That time Taylor, he kicked the bar ball. I just read it, bounced off the right way, went through everybody. Just popped right into my hands. I think that was Devin Dace on my team who was kind of in my way. He was like, I was trying to get out of your way, man. I just kind of brushed him aside and went in. But, yeah.
You're free to do that. Yeah. You're allowed to do that.
Yes,
you have
sir.
our permission.
It was Devin. We have the video evidence. You gave one heck of a stiff arm, Nick. Hey, so question for you. How has it been adjusting to all the different quarterbacks that played this season?
It's been kind of tough, but it's arena. Guys coming in and out every week. We just got to adjust, and we trust Coach to put in the right play calls. And all the quarterbacks we've had have been good. We just got to find the right guy for this team. So I think the 2 guys we have now are pretty good. They both have different styles of play. And Warren Smith's first start tonight, we'll see how he does. He's been waiting, so he's showing up so far.
Thanks, Nick. We'll let you get back to work. Great job so far.
Thank you, sir.
Nick Truesdell, everybody. He's already accounted for 2 touchdowns. And the Shock defense coming through again. Couple of pass breakups now sets up a 3rd down and 14.
And Baziner has liked what he's seen over the middle, but Dace that time, much tighter coverage. Would not call that soft coverage, aggressive coverage right on the receiver and broke the ball.
Let's see if the Shock can pin their ears back here, Mike. You talk about an LA offense that has given up a league worst 20 sacks, while the Shock defense this year has made 11 sacks. That's tied for the second in arena football. In the end zone, and there it is, right on cue in the end zone.
Well, and perfect situation for Spokane to pin the ears back, because with the long yardage situation, you know it's going to be a 50 series or that 5-step drop. But this play was called dead before it even started.
It had safety written all over it. Let's find out
foul.
what this is.
Offsides on the high motion man. Penalties after distance to the goal.
Boy, that's a break for LA.
Also, personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense. Those penalties offset. Repeat the down.
Wonder who that was. Let's have another look. We'll see the offsides on the high motion man.
Bottom of the screen, watch Ruffin cut inside.
That's 44.
Yep. And so you can see they're waving the arms.
What has he done there?
Yeah, and you see him throwing the ball. So they were waving their arms. The whistle was blown. Ruffin continued through the whistle.
I didn't know the play was dead. Did you? I mean, that's hard when you're in the trenches.
That is, but you can clearly see the officials waving their arms, and there was no hesitation throwing the flag. And you got to protect the quarterbacks.
On 3rd and 13, rush coming again. Baziner gets rid of it, bobbled, and caught just past the 15. It'll be a yard shy of the first down marker. First catch of the evening for Tom Gilson.
And once again, Baziner working the middle of the field. And Spokane very soft with their defense in the middle of the field.
See the former Shock offensive coordinator Matt Salk getting the play into the quarterback, Baziner. 4th down and 1, and it's about to get loud in Death Valley. Morgan, the motion man, the catch, Burns, Dodd, Masters, foot race. Days can't get to him in time, and it's a touchdown. On 4th down and 1, Morgan has his second touchdown catch of the evening, and LA is right back in this on a touchdown pass of 33 yards.
Morgan is so difficult to study. He's like Truesdell, the Truesdell version of the LA Kiss. 6'3", 215, 220, rangy. And if you don't wrap him up, look at all the yards after contact. A missed tackle off to the races. Spokane once again a missed tackle.
High snap, ball is off the bar, no good. And the Shock hold a 7-point lead as we head into the break. Boy, oh boy, missed tackles on defense really hurting the Shock on 4th down. We're back after this. Warren Smith making his AFL debut here tonight. Here's some vintage video from his days with the Trenton Freedom in the PIFL. Boy, this guy has some tools, doesn't he? That's him throwing the football there. And look at that playing on the red turf, almost like the Inferno at the Sun Center in Trenton. Look at this. He's going to vault right over a guy. I don't think we're going to see that with a knee brace on, but when he's at 100%, that's just a glimpse of what we could see in the AFL.
It shows you the tool set. A lot of comparisons, again, tool-wise to Eric Meyer. Came from that same level, University of Maine. Short kick.
Dodd Masters, who got burned on that play on defense, about to return after the 15. Cuts outside. Boy, oh boy, great blocking there, great wedge, and Dodd Masters could very well have had a touchdown there. So just a glimpse of things to come, perhaps, for Warren Smith, who has been outstanding on his first 2 drives. 7 of 8 now, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. You really couldn't ask for anything more.
At a rhythm, it's low risk, and so far it's been very high reward.
Again, folks, this is not only his first AFL start, this is his first AFL appearance, period. Before tonight, he had never taken a snap in the AFL. Short throw, caught. I tell you, Amos continues to impress, and this guy just has a flair. There are guys like Brandon Lloyd in the NFL who maybe don't excel at making routine plays, but when the ball is seemingly out of reach, guys like Amos somehow always find it and make the catch.
That is 2 great catches for Amos tonight. First one, a ball thrown behind him. This one underthrown. But what I like with Smith, he's decisive in his reads, and he's getting the ball out very, very quickly, much more quicker than we've seen with other Spokane quarterbacks.
Here's a throw to Washington in the end zone for the touchdown. 19 yards for the score, and Smith has thrown his 3rd touchdown pass of the young evening.
Yet another example. Quick read, quick release, and with more experience in game reps, he's going to start hitting the windows with much more consistency. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, Sam.
And that ball was up in the air before Washington had even made that turn out to that post there, and boy, oh boy, what a perfect throw by the young man Warren Smith in his AFL debut. Rowan into the slack net on the point after, and Spokane is already at 34. It's 34-20 on a 3rd touchdown pass from Smith, and it's the 2nd on the night for Washington. Tonight's Spokane Shock football coverage on SWXB brought to you by Triple Play. Triple Play Family Fun Park, where fun is always in season. See the Shock dancers? And boy, Spokane is dancing all over LA right now, 34-20. Don't know if it's because LA, frankly, is so bad, or Spokane is just playing so much better, but you can see the difference in talent level between these two teams here tonight. Spokane will now kick off after a 3rd touchdown pass by Warren Smith. And into the stands, another souvenir football. No return for DeMarco Sampson.
110. Kiss will take over.
So Los Angeles comes into this contest with 3 wins. 3 wins in its history. 0-6 this year, 3 wins all of last season. They were the doormat of the Arena Football League last year when they were a highly publicized team. They had their own reality show. They've got a high-profile ownership group, but it all comes down to execution and talent on the football field.
And this is a franchise surprisingly has just struggled. Quality coach in Bob McMillan. Can't quite tell you what's wrong there.
Well, I see there's a whole lot of wrong going on in the end zone. Will it be a safety? It will for Spokane.
And
Micah King, one of the new guys, wants a touchdown, and now they've said touchdown.
So
I saw one indication for a touchdown. The referees will confer. The initial ruling was safety.
And the PAT unit is out there.
Rolling on the field is a touchdown.
That would be Micah King making his debut with the Spokane Shock. This is actually his 3rd stint with the team, having played with them in 2011 and 2012. Just signed this week with Spokane, and he makes a huge play on defense.
It was good seeing Micah King just before the game. One of my rituals, go down and talk to players and coaches. Big old smile on his face. He is a very happy man to be back here in Shockville.
I think the feeling is mutual after that play. We'll take a look at a replay in just a moment, but Taylor Rowan, a very busy man. Folks, it's 5.5 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter, and Spokane already has 40 points against LA. We'll see if they can make it 41. Kick is good, 41-20. And that Spokane defense smelling blood in the water as we have another look. Ruffin got in there.
And is that 36? That would be Kelly.
Yep, Bryson Kelly. But look at it right there underneath the offensive line. The ball's loose, and Micah King says, "Looky what I found."
That is the epitome of teamwork. The 1-2 punch, give both those linemen a half a sack.
Yeah.
Ball's loose, and Micah King just falls on it. Blew up just dominated the LA offensive line on that play.
Now Kelly is indicating he's putting his hands up as if to say safety, safety, safety. It's like, no, let's tack on about 4 more points and then the PAT. Micah King in the right place at the right time, scooping that football up.
And no doubt about that. You can see before Baziner's down, that ball's loose, and only one player seeing the ball on the ground. That's all that matters. That was a shock player.
So Micah King, who had 139 tackles in his AFL career, that is his 5th fumble recovery now in his AFL career, which started in Iowa with the Barnstormers, continued with the Shock in 2011 and 12, and then San Antonio the last 2 seasons before being picked up this week by the Shock.
Spokane, how many different ways can you score? We've had passing, that kickoff return for a touchdown, a returned kickoff for a touchdown, a defensive return for a touchdown, then a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
There's a Rowan kick now. We've seen plenty of that. This is off the net for Sampson. And will he get out of the end zone? He does. Actually loses yardage when you think about it. A touchback would have put him at the 5. Instead, you know, defense and special teams, you add up all their touchdowns, Mike. They're even with the offense for Spokane. Spokane's offense, 3 touchdowns scored. The defense, 2 touchdowns. Special teams with 1.
That's and the KISS with 3 offensive touchdowns. So 3 different units, 3 different sets of touchdowns.
Now this is, you know, if you're a reliever in baseball, you give up a home run. You have to go back and then throw another pitch. This is what the LA offense will have to do right now. They give up a touchdown, and they're right back on the field, and they're inside their own 5-yard line. Baziner under center. Short pass is complete along the dashboard. Short gain. And in on the tackle, Pope with some help from Dodd Masters.
And that's a smart play. Do just a quick drop, get the ball out, and get a little breathing room. Spokane D-line is really starting to be the aggressor here and getting the upper hand on this offensive line for LA.
Just under 4.5 minutes to play in the half. Baziner looking deep. Little underthrown and incomplete. The inadvertent pass breakup by Pope, who just happened to be in the right place at the right time. That thing went right off his helmet.
Well, and Pope read that. This is zone coverage, and Pope saw the long pass. It was a beautifully thrown ball, but you'll see Pope underneath coming off this, getting his hands up there in the catching lane, and then ripping the ball loose.
It wasn't pretty, but it works.
That's a great defensive play. Just get there and get your hands in the passing window and break it up.
3rd down and 7. Flags flying.
And I think
it's whistled dead.
71 for LA jumped.
4 pass breakups now for Spokane.
Ex-Spokane Shock.
Prior snap, false start offense, number 64 and 71. Penalties after this to the goal. Remains 3rd down.
To Vega, 71, who was with Spokane last year.
So LA really backed up here on 3rd down.
Chad Anderson, 64, the other culprit on that play.
There's Bob McMillan, 2nd-year head coach for the LA KISS. Short completion on the near dasher board. Won't be enough for the 1st down. It's out past the 10-yard line, and 4th down coming up.
Well, remember what happened on the last 4th down. Donovan Morgan, post route, missed tackle, touchdown.
No changes in the secondary. Dodd Masters, Pope, and Dace, the DBs, and boy, they've got to do their job. Contain those receivers, get the defensive line some time to get to the QB. Throw over the middle, caught. That'll be a 1st down. No missed tackle this time as Dace picks up the tackle on the Lewis reception. 22 yards on that catch.
Morgan,
run.
Donovan Morgan in high motion. Watch this. You'll see initially look right, and then again right over the middle between the hash marks. Morgan there actually being a decoy, taking Shock defenders with him, opening up the middle.
From the 23 in Shock territory. Baziner with time, throwing to the end zone. Some contact between the wide receiver and the DB. Dace defending on Morgan and did a good job there.
Morgan trying to get deep over the top, and Dace doing an excellent job of beating Morgan to that spot. No chance on that one.
Spokane at the bottom of the standings, as we talked about statistically, in points allowed and total defense. But we're seeing, with help from the offense, those numbers are going to be reversed here tonight. Just 20 points allowed thus far with 1:45 to play in the half. They'll swing the screenplay out. Now past the 20. Near the 15-yard line is Lewis. It'll be short of the first down. So it'll set up a 3rd down and 2 on the completion to Tyron Lewis.
Knocking on the door of the 1-minute rules. And LA most likely just going to run it all the way down to 1 minute.
That is exactly what they'll do here. So they'll get a break to talk things over, and we'll take the timeout. 1 minute to play in the half. Spokane leading by 21 against the LA Kiss. Standings going into this Friday night. Spokane at 1-4, but just right behind Portland in the Pacific Division, and LA in a world of hurt right now at 0-6, well on its way to 0-7. And leading the way, San Jose in the Pacific. Philadelphia, which beat Spokane in the home opener for the Shock, perfect 6-0 as well.
San Jose with Eric Meyer at quarterback. Now Meyer took that late hit from Hawthorne in their win over Arizona. Had to leave the game in an ambulance. We're not sure his status for the Shock game next week.
It's a play as we go 3rd down and 2. Baziner trying to run for the first down. He's right at the marker. I don't think he got it. It's a play that the defender actually drew not only penalties for, but also a suspension of 4 games.
And that is appealed by the player, Antoine Hawthorne.
First charge timeout and a half, a 30-second timeout. The yardage also results in a first down for Los Angeles.
They got the first down. Wow, a favorable spot for the LA Kiss. I think Olsen wants to take a look at a replay and see if he's very expressive, isn't he? He wants a replay.
And Spokane calling the timeout. I'm not so sure Spokane would have used the timeout there if they knew LA got a first down on that play. Otherwise, you're looking at a 4th down situation.
So this is what Andy Olsen wants to see.
Oh yeah, you can see that surge. Yes. Clearly from that replay, and we know he didn't fumble the ball, he got past the stick.
This should be a running play for Donovan Morgan. He's inside the 10, so they're inside the red zone. 47 seconds on the clock.
LA running the ball with 1-minute rules. Just get positive yardage. The clock runs and force Spokane to burn their timeouts. Down to 1 now, using a timeout there.
Really, it's a contrast right now, Mike, between the Arena Football League and the National Football League. Only in the AFL do you have one team driving inside the 10-yard line with 47 seconds to play, and it's the defense that's calling the timeout.
Because it's cat and mouse time. Various strategies when you get in the 1-minute rules, but a common strategy with the offense, run time off the clock and try not to do a ping pong of possessions back and forth. Just run it down, make the defense burn their timeouts, and give the offense no time to counter should you score.
Morgan, high motion man, handoff, and boy, oh boy, Micah King blew up that play. They gave it to Sam Campbell, the big fullback.
And mistake by Will Mulder, because this is negative yardage. And Mulder jumped the gun, calling a timeout. Now look at the line of scrimmage. The clock is stopped if you don't get positive yardage, and Mulder jumped the gun. This is a negative yardage play. And if you look at where the spot is from where it was on 2nd down, you didn't need to burn your timeout there.
Interesting.
Yep.
So let's see, they went from, I'm just looking at the log here, Mike. It was a 2nd down and 6, then listed on one log as a 3rd down and 6. Here it says a 3rd down and 5, but as you said, if it's not a positive play. Now, if it's no gain, what about that?
It's still, you have to get positive yardage, which means you have to advance beyond the original line of scrimmage.
Well, it looked like a no gain from our vantage point. 3rd down and 5, clock stop, 41 seconds. Baziner looking. He's got time, scrambling, throwing, caught, touchdown. Tyron Lewis makes the grab on a great play by Matt Baziner. So after all that discussion about the timeout, really all for naught as Spokane gives up the touchdown with 35 seconds to play. But my friends, that's a whole lot of time for your offense to get those points back.
Exactly, Sam. That is an eternity of time if you're a quarterback. So credit the LA offensive line, who was dominated a bit earlier, for some great blocking there.
A 9-yard touchdown pass, Baziner's 3rd, but it's come on his 23rd pass attempt. But this was his best play of the game thus far.
Aided by mobility and protection, and you can't blame this on anyone other than the shock front 4 not getting to the quarterback, giving him far too much time.
Uncharacteristic. You talk about almost without peer generating a pass rush, but in that situation, Baziner able to navigate the backfield and get the play off. Micah King was closing in fast. He speared him at the end, but Baziner got the throw off.
Now, amazingly, you look at the score, 41-27. Offensively, LA has outproduced Spokane. Now, that's not because Spokane hasn't done well offensively. Spokane's only had 3 offensive possessions because all the special teams scores and defensive scores.
Let's take a look at our VPI Home Solutions scoring recap. 10 plays, 47 yards, 5 minutes and 25 seconds, capped off by that touchdown pass from Baziner. All right, still 35 seconds to play. The Shock all out of timeouts. And Don Masters is back to return. No safety valve this time for him. Takes it off the net. Out of the end zone. Little stutter step up to the 5. That's where the Shock. Oh, did the ball come loose? He's down by contact at the 5, they said. So the Spokane offense will try to get the points back now. Leading 41-27. And remember, Spokane deferred on the coin flip, so they will return. They will receive to start the second half. But right now, they just want to get some more points going into the locker room. And I tell you, right now, Smith playing out of his mind. Warren Smith in his AFL debut. 9 of 10 thus far. Make it 10 of 11. Catch made by Carter along the dashboard. Clock stops with 30 seconds to play.
And you can take your shots over the middle, but the smart thing to do from a clock management, work the outside with the 1-minute rules. As soon as you touch the dashboard, you're down. Again, if a defensive player assists you into the dashboard.
Carter's 3rd catch sets up a 2nd down and 2 after a gain of 8. Smith with a 5-step drop, throwing deep for Truesdale. He was tied up. There's the flag. Pass interference, no question about that one.
Yeah, and the question will be, was the contact before the ball's in the air or while the ball's in the air? If it's while the ball was in the air, and that's what I saw, you're talking pass interference. If they deem before the ball's in the air, it would be a hold.
Deandra Dix, the guilty guy on that one, on the hold. For pass interference, we await the call from Dave Kataya.
Pass interference defense number 31. It's a 10-yard penalty, is an automatic first down. In addition, Spokane has selected the option of adding time back on the clock due to the foul. Timer, please reset the clock to 30 seconds.
Spokane maybe getting a little greedy right now.
Ball's away, and then you can see the contact. Clearly contact. and clearly the ball in flight. Yes, that is pass interference.
Not the first time that Nick Truesdale has probably faced that. That's an imposing matchup. When you see 6'7" on the other side, you're a 5'8" defensive back, 5'9", 5'10". You're already thinking, boy, I hope they don't throw my way.
True. So many tall, rangy receivers over the years that have come through Spokane. The latest is Adrian Tennell, who
now
is
over
with
in San
another
Jose.
team. Yep, who we'll see next week. Marquis White, remember Marquis?
Yep, I remember.
Long, rangy, just several long, rangy receivers been through this program.
They're looking up at the clock, I believe. Then now they're going to talk things over. So Spokane coming into this ballgame 1-4. I think a lot of people believe that, you know, that 3-point loss on the road at New Orleans. They've had some close calls. This team could very well, Mike, be 3-2 instead of 1-4.
A lot of talent, just hasn't clicked. And with quarterback being unsettled, it's just an uphill climb.
Short hop that pass to Carter, incomplete. Clock stopped with 27 seconds to play.
Plenty of time, but you're going to have to manage clock and sideline.
Mike, you look at this team. I mean, they've just got athletes. They've just got guys who can play all over the field. Rashad Carter, the intended man there, played at quarterback in place of an injured Eric Meyer at one point against L.A. last year. Deep ball, Washington, incomplete. I think Smith wants that one back. He made that read just a little bit too late.
Yeah, Washington was wide open, and the area wasn't to lead Washington over the top. It was in front into the sideline. Ball just thrown to the wrong area.
So we talk about athletes. Carter, one of them. We saw Truesdale today on special teams. For all we know, we could see him in defense at some point. He's number 81. And then the new guy. They made a new addition this week, picking up Christian Wise. He's a two-way guy as well. Here's a throw over the middle. It is caught. That's Truesdale. It's going to take 4 tacklers to bring him down. He gets through them before finally a shoestring tackle inside the 15.
And Spokane's going to have to hurry. This is when that timeout that didn't need to be used is critical. You have to spike it right here. And now decision time. You've got time for one play. Do you go for 6 or do you bring in Taylor Rowan?
I say you go for it. Don't you? What do you do, Mike? I mean, are you the 401k kind of guy, or are you going to go all in on Apple?
I'm the you take your points kind of guy. And Sam, I can tell by the way you asked that question, you're a go for 6 kind of guy.
You got a rookie quarterback in there. You want to get some confidence going in the locker room, and I say the 3 points, it's not about the points right now. You're up 41-27. Take a shot.
You do get the ball to open the second half.
Now they started running the clock, and the horn goes off.
The ball was spiked. That is
so
that is confusion by the Spokane
clock advantage.
Confusion by the Spokane clock operator. That is an incomplete pass when you spike the ball.
Maybe just a. How can you possibly run the clock after an incomplete pass? How does that even happen?
We've got to hear the explanation.
The half is over as the clock was stopped due to chain problems, not due to the spike.
Due to what?
Are they going to replay?
The clock was stopped due to what? I did not succinctly hear what Katai explained. Oh, he said
the clock was stopped because of chain problems, not an incomplete pass.
Well, if there's
which begs the question.
Problems, stop the clock to fix the chain problem, then wind it and go into the spike. To me, that is utter mismanagement by the officiating and chain crew.
Well,
I don't get that.
Maybe they should have gone for 3. We're going to look, I guess, at the chain problem. Now look,
there's the spike with 4 seconds to go. And now what's going on? So let's communicate. You can see clock is stopped by the officials. at this point, you must communicate. You need to communicate as an officiating crew to the offense. You have to understand the situation and effectively communicate that.
Wow.
I put that on the referees. That's just poor communication between them and the players on the field.
Wow. Talk about a buzzkill. 41-27, Shock with the lead. It could have been a whole lot worse for the LA Kiss. They're hanging on by a thread, but Spokane finding signs of life. Andy Olson and company putting the electricity back in the air inside Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. Arena football on SWX being brought to you by VPI Home Solutions. Windows custom fit for life. Sam Adams, Mike Peterson, just about ready to start the third quarter of action with the Spokane Shock leading the LA Kiss 41-27. Warren Smith in his AFL debut, completing 10 of 13 passes, 134 yards, 3 touchdowns, no sacks, no interceptions. Mike Washington, the team's leading receiver, 4 catches, 33 yards, 2 touchdowns. Nick Truesdale had a 43-yard touchdown reception. He's got 2 catches for 57 yards on the night. For the LA Kiss, Matt Baziner, former Shock quarterback, had a short stint in here. 16 of 23, 204 yards, 3 touchdowns, sacked twice. And Tyron Lewis, 7 receptions, 81 yards, 1 touchdown. And Donovan Morgan, 5 for 96 and 2 scores. But again, the bottom line, Mike Peterson, is that point differential, 41-27. That could very well, though, be 48-27 if not for some sort of clock snafu to end that second quarter.
Well, it was very strange, and the officials not getting a pleasant welcome as they enter the field. And I don't blame the fans, because it was blamed on a change mismanagement. Well, stop the clock. I believe it was a game management and a clock mismanagement by the referees that cost Spokane 1 extra play at the end of the half. Well, I just simply don't understand it.
Here's the thing. Had Spokane known about that, they would have gone back up to the line. They would have spiked the football and done it again. They would have time to either get a kickoff or throw into the end zone.
So with 4 seconds to go, if you have a chain issue, and there was, we saw the video replay, fine, stop the clock, which the officials did, but you must communicate that to the Spokane team. And the failure to communicate was the failure in Spokane being able to still ground the ball and have another play left. That one is entirely on mismanagement by the officiating crew, plain and simple.
Well, Spokane will return as we start the second half. Kickoff is sponsored by your locally owned Napa Auto Parts store. So no return. The Shock will start this drive from their own 5 under the hot-handed quarterback, the rookie, Warren Smith. Remember, he's playing with a sprain in his knee. Was unable to play at all through the first half dozen games of the season coming into this, the 6th game. And lo and behold, activated, ready to go now, not only on the depth chart, but number 1, taking over for Carson Kaufman. So Warren Smith, an electric debut. We'll see if he can keep it going here. 1st and 10 from the 5. With time, Mike Washington underneath. And a gain of 6 or 7 yards on that catch.
Smith is showing me a very strong command of the offense. Now, he's been in camp from the start, so he knows the offense, and even with the injury, he hasn't been that limited in practice. But right there, he looks left, didn't like the read, checked off to the right side. That is not only going through progressions, but very rapidly.
2nd down and 4. Amos now the motion man. Throw is to Washington along the dasher board, short gain. Now, we heard from Mike Washington after he had caught one of his 2 touchdowns. I had asked him about the immersion factor with the quarterback, knowing the system, and Mike made it known this kid knows this playbook. He's a bookworm, he called him. I talked to Terrence Taylor earlier this week on the other side of the football. He said he's got a notebook about 4 inches thick of the playbook from last season, all the plays he logged. And there's another play that he's logging himself now, a 1st down reception made by Rashad Carter.
And Carter getting tackled hard. A nice clean tackle in the knee area. Got it pretty slow. Watch the knee area when he gets tackled here. Tell you what, that's driving low and wrapping up. That is textbook open field tackling.
10 yards on that reception to move the chains. The Shock playing on new turf this year. It was a little loose in that season opener. It's nice and snug now. They run the ball here on first down, and rumbling his way through, and I mean rumbling, is Rory Nixon.
And Benton, 6 foot 205, coming up and saying, I'm giving up over 100 pounds. I'm just going to go low. It's all you can do.
Second down and 5. High motion is Washington. Looking for Washington, throwing, caught along the dasher board. Flips it right to a fan. And the Shock are inside the KFC red zone. They are clicking on offense.
Just crisp, efficient. Something that has not been synonymous with the Shock offense this season.
Now, talking to some people before the game who will remain nameless, but they were saying that the start of this rookie reeked of desperation. I said, if you see this guy on film, you know what he brings to the table. It might be the other team that's desperate. Here's a throw into the end zone. Clear pass interference. It was intended for Amos. So it'll be pass interference on the LA Kiss defense.
If you can't cover him, knock him down.
Dix does just that.
Good strategy. Instead of getting beat and giving up 6
Holding
points, just
defense.
knock him down.
Number 21. Penalties after this is a goal. Automatic first down.
So a fresh set of downs for Spokane, continuing inside the KFC red zone. They're now at the 4.
Now, it'll be interesting here to see if Spokane goes to Nixon again on the handoff. And Truesdell's not in. You think with 6'7", get that big red zone target. Let's see if they go with the running game here.
Washington, high motion. They throw the screen. Carter rolled over, almost a wrestling move there. I don't know what you call that in WWE, but he was just thrown over some guy's shoulder.
Well, and the good news for Spokane is when you roll over going north-south, you end up with an extra yard or two out of the situation. Now, in years past, this would be automatic Eric Meyer, quarterback's keeper.
With a push from the fullback. We'll see what they do here. Oh, vintage play. A la Eric Meyer, the new guy. Warren Smith, his first rushing touchdown. The mobile quarterback with his first touchdown of the season with his legs from 1 yard out. And the route is on here in Spokane.
We talk about comparisons of the tool set of Smith and Eric Meyer. Well, we're seeing a lot of it with mobility, with the passing, and here, quarterback keeper as well.
Rowan on to attempt. Missed once, hasn't missed since. 48-27. Your score on the VPI Windows Custom Fit for Life scoreboard. Another kick for the busy Rowan, another touchdown for Warren Smith, and more push-ups for that poor hamster. Spokane Shock football sponsored in part by Azteca Mexican Restaurants with 3 locations in Spokane plus 1 in Coeur d'Alene. There's always an Azteca close by. In fact, caught up with a few Shock players out in the Spokane Valley location for Cinco de Mayo, eating plenty of tacos and enjoying the festivities of Cinco de Mayo. Take a look at our VPI scoring recap. 7 plays, 45 yards, 4 minutes, and 32 seconds, capped off by the 1 yard touchdown run by Warren Smith. So Spokane will kick off now, leading 48-27, right through the slack net.
Taylor Rowan has been sharp on his kicks tonight. There's been bar balls, and he's splitting the uprights, really minimizing the returns for LA and putting the Spokane D in very favorable field position.
Over the last few weeks, has not been kicking the ball well. In fact, missed an early PAT, and he thought, uh-oh, we might be in for a night. And He's really gotten right back on the horse.
Yeah, he's missed field goals. It's not been the Taylor Rowan performance we're used to, but well, he sure corrected this tonight.
4 touchbacks, 1 bar ball so far, and he's been very busy kicking off. Miscommunication on that route or just a simple throwaway by Baziner, who's, from what we saw when he was here in Spokane, better, but still not very good.
No, not sharp. Not on the same page as his receivers. There's an example. Baziner's throwing to the sideline. Donovan Morgan is on a slant route. They're 10 yards off on the playbook and reads right there.
2nd down from their own 5. Here's Baziner to throw this one along the dasher board, caught up to the 10-yard line, moving his way near the 1st down marker. A yard shy is Sampson, DeMarco Sampson. Well, this rush has been relentless for Spokane. James Ruffin, Terrence Taylor, and then either Micah King or Bryson Kelly, either one. They've been swapping them out. Kelly is an athlete. We talked about him when he was a running back at Central Washington, and Micah King had that fumble recovery in the end zone for a touchdown. 3rd and 1, Baziner out of the pocket on the run. Boy, that's a courageous run, and he picks up the 1st down. Got through Gilliam, the linebacker, to pick it up.
Excellent job of driving low. Baziner, as we mentioned before, was with Spokane. Actually was a defensive back in college, then converted to quarterback. So if you're a defensive back, you're agile, you're quick, you can run. He showed it there.
It's amazing when you think about the Spokane side of things with Warren Smith. When you see the tape, you think athlete, athlete, athlete. But the book on him, man, he's a gym rat, and he's a bookworm. He loves this game. Oh, loose football. Is that a fumble? Fight for it. Sam Pope had an angle on it. We'll see who's at the bottom. You see Dodd Masters trying to get in on it. Yeah. I think LA is going to be at the bottom of that pile.
I do too, and you called it. Pope had it, and he just could not secure it. And it will be LA.
That's one of the linemen. That's Tabaga, the former Shock. And my question is, did the receiver have possession? Let's take a look. No, clearly, well, it's hard from that angle.
He made a football move, though. I think he had it, and he's trying to tuck it. I think his knee just knocked it away. And there you see Pope right through the wicket.
Just a bad bounce for him. It was right there on him. We'll take a media timeout. 48-27, Shock with the lead, LA with the ball when we come back. Football on SWX, brought to you by Spokane Boys, your answer for all seasons. Your question, though, a catch and fumble or an incomplete pass? Okay, you make the call.
So he secured it, and then as he's attempting to tuck, that's a close one.
Yeah, I don't think he had possession. From that angle, hard to tell, but the previous angle where he saw the football out in front of him, I don't think Morgan had possession.
That's it is right in that gray area. So there's possession, and that's
as 50-50 as you're going to find.
That is right in the middle of that gray area.
Well, it's a 2nd down and 5. Remember, LA did recover the quote-unquote fumble.
Morgan is now over 100 yards, so 5 yards puts him at 101, 49 yards to 10,000.
Baziner taking a little time, caught by Morgan. He'll pick up the 1st down. Boy, that pass rush was almost there. All Spokane needs is to have a second more to get into Baziner's face. 17 yards on the pickup.
And Morgan now getting ever so close, Sam, to that 10,000-yard milestone for receiving yards.
Needed 150 yards, 150. He's over 100 right now, as Mike mentioned.
96 at the half, unofficially 22 more so far this half.
Morgan high motion. The throw is to Morgan in the end zone and incomplete. Covered by Dodd Masters.
Nice catch by the Wolfpack chain crew.
Spokane, for the most part, has had a fairly steady dose of pressure on Baziner, but just have not finished as many as Travis Cruisenberry, the defensive coordinator, would like. But still, that one big sack that led to the Micah King touchdown defensively, you'll take those if you're a defensive coordinator.
Second down and 10 from the Shock 13. Possible turning point in the game right now for LA, which needs to get back on the board. On the slant, catch and run for a touchdown, Donovan Morgan, who is now right on the verge of 10,000 yards for his career. LA came into this contest averaging 34.5 points per game. With an extra point here, they're just a point away from equaling that. And we're still midway through the third. Kick is off the bar, no good. LA back on the board on another Morgan touchdown catch. Shock lead it 48-33. Happy Mother's Day weekend to all the moms out there. I mean, moms, they got their presents early tonight, clearly on a Friday. They said, Mom, how would you like to come out to see a Spokane Shock game?
Well, and there's Mrs. Andy Olson right there.
Yeah.
Couple young daughters themselves.
She didn't have a choice, I guess, right? Yeah. Her present comes Sunday, on Mother's Day.
They'll raise powder puff football players.
Dodd Masters on the kickoff return out of the end zone. Little dance up to the 5, to the 10. And finally down just past the 15-yard line. Best return yet for Dodd Masters today, who comes up a little ginger after that return.
Yeah, he had a seam on the cutback and went down, and now we know why. He rolled his ankle trying to make that cutback.
There had been talk that we might see Christian Wise back on returns here tonight. But right now it has been Dodd Masters. Remember, there was that bar ball returned for a touchdown, 52 yards, but that was actually returned by Gilliam and not Dodd Masters, who had played it. It went right over his head. So Spokane with the ball back on offense, led by their rookie quarterback. Smith over the middle, caught by Washington, cuts back. Wow, what a move. Across midfield, past the 25.
You mentioned Gilliam on that bar ball. Returning it, and it was a veteran move. Well, here's how veteran he is. He has now played in counting tonight now, 78 consecutive games. Second longest active streak in all of AFL. That will make you a vet. It's a lot of football.
A lot needs to go right, and you need to be a tough dude. First and 10 from the 23 in LA territory. Looking, throwing, Carter. Just out of reach. And if you've seen Rashad Carter up close, he has some long fingers. And when it's just out of reach, you know it's out of reach.
We would like to welcome and say happy birthday to everybody celebrating a birthday here with us tonight.
Here we are, end zone look. Pretty doggone close, just grazed the fingertips. And so close to the dasher board, you can't dive because now you're going to go head first in the dasher board and risk a head or neck injury.
Right in your living room. Second down and 10. False start.
And that's going to probably be Washington over the line again. The high motion man, Mike Washington.
Prior snap, offsides on the high motion man, number 7. It's a 10-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That's timing tonight. That's happened twice between Smith and Washington, and that's just, again, being in sync and getting some game reps under your belt, Sam.
Now, you're going to see a lot of reps here tonight. Spokane maybe just a little thinner, I mean, just by a hair, trading Rod Harper, the veteran who really never caught on here. They traded him for future considerations. So that left him down a man. More on that in a moment. Out of the pocket, we might have a hold. Wide open. This is Truesdale. All sorts of room into the end zone. Now the only question is if this one is coming back, and it is.
Yes, it is. This is that all-important mobility that Smith has. It's an X factor that has not been there.
Offense number 42. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Now the fans think, hey, if the siren starts going off, if the lights go off, it's a touchdown. That's good enough for us.
Yeah.
But the refs say not so fast.
Spectacular play. Look on the right side.
Are you looking at a feet?
Right there you go. There's the wrap up. Right up the middle.
That's the fullback Nixon. So they trade Harper, but then they apparently get Justin Hilton from Orlando for future considerations. Well, that trade was then voided by the Shock. I'd asked at first to my source, hey, was this voided because of a physical? They said no, he never had any intentions of playing in Spokane. So Orlando was, for lack of a better word, trying to pull a fast one on Spokane. Spokane gets wind of it, voids the trade, so it's all dead in the water. They don't have to give up the future considerations, and then Hilton goes back to Orlando.
So there you have it. Great research, Sam.
It'll be second down and 29. Truesdale, the high motion man. The throw is to Truesdale, and want to get him that touchdown back eventually. Not going to happen here, and it's going to bring up third down and long.
Very long. Like 30-plus yards long.
Our first sign of adversity for the rookie QB Warren Smith here with third down and 29 to go. See what kind of rabbit he can pull out of his hat here. If you watch the video from his days with Trenton in the PIFL, you know he can pull it out. Let's see what he does here. Again, third down, 29 yards to go from their own 8. It'll be Mike Washington in high motion. With time, throwing, caught at the 25. And it will not be enough for the first down. 2 yards shy.
12 yards shy.
Oh, excuse me.
That's how far they
Not
had to
even
go.
close.
But at least it's a manageable fourth down, because you're not going to get 29 yards typically on one play. So get a good chunky yardage like Spokane just did. A 17-yard pickup. Now you're looking at 4th and 12.
Well, you complimented me on my research. I'm going to compliment you on your vision. 4th down and 12. Washington again is your motion man. Hit as he throws. Little duck into the end zone. Still caught by Washington. His third, and it's Smith's 4th. 25 yards on 4th down. And the Shock are in the 50s. Smith now with 4 passing touchdowns, 1 on the ground, and Mike Washington with his 3rd reception for a score. And Rowan on to kick yet another point after. Kick is good. Smith now 18 of 23, 222 yards, 4 touchdowns, including this one. Hit as he throws. It was a wobbler, but it's good enough for a touchdown. BPI Windows custom fit for life scoreboard. Spokane leads it 55-33. Tonight's game being brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Mr. Rooter, a proud sponsor of the Spokane Shock on SWX. Taking a look at our VPI Home Solutions scoring recap. 5 plays, 34 yards, capped off by that 25-yarder. You see the 2 men on your screen, Smith and Washington. Maybe the next iteration of Meyer to Tennell.
Thank you. Very nice, Jamie. Very nice.
Sure looked pretty solid tonight.
Remember, Meyer and Tennell's San Jose SaberCats coming to town next Saturday, a 4 p.m. kickoff because of the Lilac Parade. So a 4 p.m. kickoff right here on SWX. San Jose coming to town. Rowan to kick off with a 55-33 lead. He's been just in the zone on kickoffs. Another one through the slack net. Reminds me of Austin Rico. We had Central Valley's marching band here at halftime. Of course, Rico now kicking at the University of Idaho. Runner-up for National Kicker of the Year this past season, Punter of the Year, and a great kicker in high school as well. And boy, every time we did a Central Valley broadcast, it would be a touchback. Well, right now, what we're seeing from Rowan is kicks through the slack net and into the seats. And some bar balls as well.
Bar ball resulted in a touchdown.
LA with the ball. Baziner's pass complete. Let's go to the man of the hour. Warren Smith with us for the first time. Warren, welcome to Spokane. I know you've been here a while now, but what's it like to finally get on the field and play and have some fun out here?
Oh, it feels great. You know, that's what it's all about. Got out here in February and been excited to get on the field since. And I had a little setback with my knee injury during camp, but great to be out here with the guys competing. I love it.
Baziner here to throw on second down, deep ball, incomplete. We're here again with the rookie quarterback, Warren Smith. I've got the intel on you from several guys on this team talking about your habits as far as studying. Tell me about your research process and how much you know about this team dating back to last season's plays.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Coach Olson gave me the playbook when he first signed me. And, I'm a coach back home, so I try to treat it the same way as if I'm coaching or if I'm playing. So I watched every single game on the internet last year and broke down every single play. And, I just wanted to get a feel for Coach Olson and how he calls his plays and obviously see the personnel around me. So, I think when you always watch film, it always helps you out. And, it's second nature to me watching film. Like I said, I coach back at home in New Jersey in the fall. I've coached college football also. So, just film work is big for this game, especially playing quarterback, because you got to get the ball out so quick, and you got to know what you're looking at right before the ball snaps. So I just think it's all beneficial to me, and like I said, it's watching film second nature to me and breaking it down.
Warren, real quick, get a chance to say hi to the folks back home in New Jersey.
Yeah, all my friends and family right now are watching it over at the Moose back in the Forked River, and I just want to say hi to everyone and thanks for the support watching me. And if my mom's there, I want to say Happy Mother's Day. I know it's 2 days away, but I love you and miss you. And say hi to my girl, too. Nicole, I love you.
That a boy. Thanks, Warren. Great to talk to you. Good luck in the fourth. Warren Smith with us. We're back with the fourth quarter. 55-33. Shock leading the Kiss. On SWX being brought to you by your locally owned Inland Empire Napa Auto Parts Stores. Napa know-how. Beautiful look of Spokane as we start the fourth quarter of action. The Shock leading the LA Kiss 55-33. Sam Adams and Mike Peterson and Shock's the Fox with us as well, getting a little third to fourth quarter adjustment. He's in game shape. You scratch the dog just right, or the fox in that case, when you get the little leg jitter like that. That's what he was doing there. What do you think about our man Warren Smith so far here inside Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena?
I've been very impressed. Offense is in sync. He clearly has command of the offense. Quickly going through progressions, which for a rookie, that is a rarity when you see that. Throws, most are on the money. When he's missing, it's okay. He just needs to get more game reps. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. I think Spokane may have found their new starter.
There are two advantages as we start this fourth quarter for Spokane. One is the environment here. You're not going to find a better environment in all of the Arena Football League. Number two, talent evaluation. There's nobody better in this league for my money at unearthing some talent, the diamonds in the rough. And year after year, they find these guys. Now, a lot of them end up going to play elsewhere eventually, but they always look back on their days in Spokane and go, you know what, that was pretty darn fun when I got to play for the Shock. So LA with the football, trailing 55-33. Spokane has apparently found its quarterback. They need to find some help in their secondary right now. They've been burned for some big plays here tonight. First down and 10 from the LA 22. Rush coming, Baziner out of the pocket, and boy, oh boy, he nearly got stripped. Instead, finally, he gets pile drive down at the 15-yard line by another new signee, Christian Wise, who made a touchdown-saving play.
Well, and here's a new wrinkle for Spokane. Nick Truesdell in there at back linebacker. Now he's coming out now, and Gilliam's coming back in, but I think Truesdell missed that tackle in the open field. Big number 81. Truesdell went too high. Baziner gave him the shoulder, kept his feet, and got that extra yardage.
Baziner with plenty of time this time. Finally, he has to get rid of the football. What a play! Touchdown, LA on a desperation throw to Gilson, and they're back in this thing.
Fans, be sure to catch Arena Football action on the CBS Sports Network all season long. Visit arenafootball.com.
That silences the crowd here in Spokane as Baziner throws the touchdown. 15 yards on that scoring play. It's Baziner's fifth.
And again, just an eternity of time to work with for Baziner, and just torch Spokane with that kind of time.
Baziner using a little mobility to evade the rush. And throw a little wobbler into the end zone. 55-40 on your VPI Windows custom Fit for Life scoreboard. Game outside on Saturday. College baseball, big West Coast Conference matchup. Gonzaga Bulldogs at the Patterson Baseball Complex against Pacific. Your first pitch at 6 p.m. The Bulldogs desperately needing a couple sweeps down the stretch to get into the top 4 and into that West Coast Conference tournament. It's college baseball, the Bulldogs and the Tigers live right here on SWX. Mike's a baseball man. We've done the NAIA World Series in Lewiston together. Looking forward to that towards the end of the month.
Always a fun one to call with you, Sam.
Oh, yeah. We don't mind the indoor games either. Here's a kickoff now. Dodd Masters back to return off the net. Leading 55-40. He's going to take a knee. Two areas where Spokane needs to improve. I feel like there's been a significant upgrade tonight at the quarterback position. Two areas that I believe, but I'd like to get your thoughts, of course, Mike. The secondary and on special teams, specifically kick returns. That's where I feel Spokane is down from a year ago.
Yeah, because let's go with kick returns.
Yeah.
Just very difficult fill in the shoes of Terrence Sanders. It's just tough to follow one of the greatest returners in the history of AFL. More on that after this play, Sam.
Short pass to Mike Washington to get the offense back in gear.
And the return Spokane did get, that was Gilliam, who was the up back, not the back guy. So the other is in the secondary. It's just got to be shored up. Too many big plays, still too many missed tackles and opportunities. A dropped interception, a fumble that went through the wickets, and just a lot of missed tackles that are going for big plays and touchdowns. That's got to be shored up.
After that 7-yard pickup, Smith with a bomb to Washington at the 10. Did he make it? They will confer. I think he got it.
They're saying he made the catch.
Now
they're saying incomplete.
Fields an incomplete pass. They're down.
Not a very emphatic signal on the incomplete pass either.
Yep, you hear about receivers with alligator arms. That's an official making alligator arms incomplete play. Let's look. That awfully close.
I think towards the end, that's where Washington didn't have it. I thought going into the dasher board, he could have had it, and if not for the wall, I think the dasher board's what actually broke up the pass.
Yeah, it's again tough to tell from that angle, and what you also couldn't tell. It does look like Washington picked the ball off the ground. So did he secure it before the end, before it hit the ground?
Now that might be a delay of game.
After this is the goal, still third down.
Which you rarely see for Spokane. But when you have the incomplete pass that Spokane was trying to contest, it was a long play. It would have gone for, 30 yards. They come back to the huddle. They were slow getting back to the line, and that's what happened, delay of game.
Spokane, and you can never say too comfortable in the indoor game, but a 2-possession lead, but with 3rd and 7, the 8 pinned back here. This is a crucial first down Spokane's got to pick up here.
Carter, the motion man, he makes the catch at the 20-yard line. Now he's got a block for him, Amos. He's going to take it into the end zone. He followed the escort in for the score, and Rashad Carter a big touchdown on 3rd down and 8. 46 yards on Smith's 5th passing touchdown of the night.
Well, defensively, on sacks, you can share sacks. Tell you what, Carter needs to share that touchdown with Amos because of the downfield blocking to get him into the end zone. That was great teamwork.
And I'm going to tell you what, I was a little concerned when I saw Amos and how he was playing at the beginning of the season. He has the physical tools, and he has really adjusted to the Arena Football League, and he has earned a spot inside that starting receiving core. We see the touchdown pass, Smith to Carter, and a nice block by Amos, who's pulling his weight in Spokane, 62-40. DI Home Solutions scoring recap. Sean Carter, a 46-yard touchdown reception. capping off a 3-play, 48-yard drive that took 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Spokane getting an answer on that LA Kiss touchdown. The lead back to 22 with 10-12 to play, 62-40. We're on milestone watch for the LA Kiss. Meanwhile, on Mother's Day weekend, and kisses going around from mothers to children and vice versa. Boy, talk about a front row seat. I want them to hit that guy, Mommy. Sampson on the bar ball. Live football scooped up at the 4. And LA somehow gets it back.
Truesdell almost had a second bar ball touchdown.
Taylor is dialed in kicking off.
At the end of last year, Rowan, there was one game, I think there were 6 bar balls. Now watch Truesdell right through the wicket. Oh, he had a touchdown if he could have corralled it.
You know, and Lewis very well, if he had been able to keep his foot, he might have taken it back for a touchdown. Now milestone watch, meanwhile, 10,000 yards as Gilson will take it up to the 14-yard line. We're talking about Donovan Morgan. Entered the night 150 yards away from 10,000 career receiving yards. He is now 10 yards away. His next catch very well could put him at 10,000. He will be the high motion man. Baziner looking for him, throwing to him. Here he is. Nice play defensively by Sam Pope, who closed in as the defensive back. 10,000 will have to wait.
That would be about, 6 miles of yards, receiving yards on a football field.
Is that the math you were just doing? See, I think
that's
what adding. See, I think Mike's, any other color commentators just adding up receiving yards. He's getting yardage and miles out of this. Unbelievable. This play whistled dead. Best in the business, Mike Peterson.
Tavaga checked
again. Start offense. Number 71. Yards, third down.
I mean, with all due respect to Chris Collinsworth, I'll take Mike Peterson any day. I don't see him doing that kind of math. No disrespect to Chris.
Well, to even be mentioned that same breath, I'm honored on that one, Sam.
He should be honored, Mike. 3rd down and 8 from the LA 9-yard line. Do or die time for the Kiss. Zener quick throw and incomplete. Receiver just was not expecting it. Tyron Lewis.
And you hear me talk a lot about it, is being on the same page and being synced up. And Baziner is not synced up with his receivers. Either the receivers are slow to react or Baziner's being too quick with the trigger.
Hey, watch out, LA on 4th down already with 2 touchdowns from 33 and 22 yards out. From their own 9, Baziner out of the pocket, floats one up, juggled over the wall.
And that's a record.
And caught to go to 10,000 plus in his career. Donovan Morgan with a catch on 4th down and 8.
Again, that's offensive line and Baziner just having plenty of time, buying time, and making a nice throw.
Does Morgan get to keep that ball? Because the fans always do. Here he is again. This time it's incomplete.
And a late flag in the area of holding. Or it could be a defensive lineman out of a lane. We'll let the officials tell us.
Now, you saw that fan almost get the ball, right?
Yes,
personal
I did.
foul, hands to the face. 36 defense. It's a 10-yard penalty.
That's Kelly.
Automatic.
Now, wouldn't that stink? You have a milestone football you like to put in the trophy case back home, and you lose it to a fan who just stripped it out of your hands.
The fan just takes it away from
like
you.
a Derek Jeter home run ball goes into the stand. Somehow that ball ends up going back. But imagine having that ball as the guy who reached the milestone, gets the record, and then a fan just plucks it out of your hand, says, thanks. I haven't had a football. Thanks.
You find that fan, you swap a football. Morgan deserves to have that football in his trophy case at home.
They're inside the red zone, are the Kiss. First down and goal from the 10. Baziner. Whoa, put right over the wall by Kelly and Gilliam.
On the quarterback keeper on the right-hand side.
Boy, those are the plays as a quarterback that you start to hesitate on your next play.
Baziner's a fighter. He's got that defensive mentality in his brain. And I like to see it. He's a rough and tumble quarterback. No fear.
Now you got to watch out, though. Your career could be pretty short in this league if you keep running like that. Second down and goal from the 7. Looking for Morgan, throwing. There he is.
And that might be picked.
No. Out of bounds. That was a great play off the tip by Sam Pope, but incomplete pass. It was intended for Morgan.
That's where that open part of the end zone costs you, because if you got the dashboard there, able to corral it,
wow,
that's
look at
a
that
pick.
rush. Go back, if we can, look at that rush and how Baziner got that throw off is beyond me. So back to the field of play. Here's Baziner. Third down and goal from the 7, and I'll let the crowd take over from here.
This is when Spokane needs a sack, and that's either a delay a game or a timeout.
Flags came in.
Delay game offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Cue Death Valley, and they do their job. Take a look at the hit that Baziner takes. I believe it's King. Yeah, Micah King closed in. And that's another Goldberg spear there.
That looks like it had ouch written all over it.
It's got loud written all over it right now. On third and goal from the 12, the crowd on its feet. Bring in the noise to the Kiss. Overthrown and incomplete. We'll have a fourth down, where LA has come up big a few times here tonight.
Baziner got knocked down again. That time, I think it was Summers who got to him. Baziner's getting knocked around. In fact, you could see him kind of shaking that right hand, his throwing hand. Now he's gone down. He's just hit the ground.
He's at midfield at the 25-yard line.
And here comes a trainer, which means he's going to have to go out for a play.
Is he cramping? It's the hand, as you mentioned, right?
Yeah, it looks to me like the right hand. Right arm, right hand. That's what they're looking at right now.
Here's the replay as he just absolutely just goes down. Whoa. So that's interesting. So Sock, I mean, the indication is Sock told him to go down. So we'll take a timeout here. 4:50 to play. Are we playing the AFL or are we playing soccer? 62-40. Tonight's coverage of Spokane Shock football being brought to you by Perfection Tire and Auto Repair, a proud sponsor of local sports on SWX. We've seen, I guess, the phantom sack. I can't remember if it was Jim Everett. Seen that in the NFL. That's the first time I've ever seen a phantom sack where a quarterback is sitting there with the coach and then just goes down with a hand injury. Not to make light of the situation, there are things beyond our knowledge, but I've never seen that in my life.
Not sure you actually need to go down. You just tell the ref, hey, I'm hurt. I need to be subbed. Now, Sock's pretty excited right now. Matt Sock, offensive coordinator for LA, and he's calling a timeout. He is really upset at something.
Los Angeles, their first charge timeout of the half.
Very interesting.
He's very animated and very upset, appears to be with his own team. He's just shaking his head.
A bumpy ride. I mean, we've Matt Sock has seen some great teams here in Spokane, and he's had a very successful career. Every career has its bumps in the road, and he's certainly hitting one with Los Angeles. Not a lot to work with for Matt Sock. Fourth and goal from the Spokane 12, and the new quarterback is Joe Clancy. Throw into the end zone and incomplete. Souvenir football and a turnover on downs. The Shock defense holds.
That ball was on the money, and Donovan Morgan, who's typically very sure-handed, just could not make the catch.
Right through his hands. And of the 10,000 plus yards that he's had in his career, it's 12 more yards that should very well have been tacked on to his illustrious career.
A heck of a throw by Clancy. You're coming in the game cold in a 4th down situation with pressure coming right at you. And look where that ball is. Yeah, that's catchable. Very catchable.
Good a throw as you could hope to make. Spokane takes over from their own 12-yard line. Truesdell is the motion man. They'll screen it out to Mike Washington, hurdling the defender over the dasher board. Brings down the dasher board. That'll pad the fall.
Well, and Truesdale, just so physical. You've got Dix out there, Deandra Dix, number 21, just flattened by a block by Truesdale. Just pancaked him.
6'7" blocker out there. He can occupy a guy or two. Washington, the motion man. This is to Carter with a block from Washington and from Truesdell. Wrapped up from behind inside the 15. Rashad Carter loving that play. Thanking his teammate Mike Washington. Spokane picks up the first down.
This is a physical mismatch between the Spokane receivers and the LA Kiss defensive backs.
24 yards on that pass completion.
Look at the blocking and the
Give Carter a pat on the back as well for his role in that play.
Everyone being physical.
I'm telling you, when you get the right quarterback out there, this is a great receiving core. This is Nixon on the carry for a very short gain.
And
Fief is very slow getting up.
Yes. Nimbly and gingerly.
Los Angeles, second charge timeout in the half.
Patrick probably very appreciative of the timeout. Doesn't have to take any sort of injury timeout, can rest up a little bit and reset.
Washington State University product.
Yep. Aspiring actor.
Yes.
I mean, if there's a football movie, how's this guy not in every single football movie out there? I mean, he looks like he is part football player, part pro wrestler.
Oh, yeah. Like, think of movies like The Blind Side or those kind of roles. He's got the frame.
Second down and 10 from the 12. Truesdell, the motion man, throwing underneath. That's Washington. 4 for Washington. And Spokane is rolling inside of 3 minutes. 12 yards on the touchdown pass in a dandy of a debut for the rookie quarterback, Warren Smith.
About as an impressive a debut as you can have as a rookie in this league. 6 TDs, no interceptions, 3 different receivers.
He's holding. Rowan will kick. Ooh, another miss. But the lead stands at 28, 68-40 on a 6th touchdown pass from Warren Smith. Smith making his reads, and boy, I tell you, he's making progressions, and these defensive backs and the linebackers, they cannot key on his eyes because his head is on a swivel. He's making good, accurate throws and good reads.
Yes, he is. And the ball is coming out of his hand very quickly. I think it's a very safe observation to say Spokane has found their new quarterback.
Isn't it fitting, Mike, that the quarterback who left Spokane for greener pastures perhaps in San Jose in more ways than one, that now his team, Eric Meyer, comes back to town next week, and Spokane will be showing off a brand new starting quarterback and one who could be here for a while.
And one with a very similar style and skill set of Eric Meyer. Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, that's going to be a dandy of a game next week.
Now, you saw him talking to Carson Kaufman. I think that's great that, Kaufman was the starter, and Kaufman didn't play his way out of the job. Let's be honest. I mean, for a moment, Carson Kaufman came into this contest with 16 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions. It's not as if he played poorly to lose the job. but it's just what Spokane's coaching staff saw from Warren Smith during practice, and they felt at some point they had to make a move. I would compare it to a Colin Kaepernick, Alex Smith situation from a couple years ago. You just have one guy that has a skill set that is hard to find in this league. And they decided, you know what, with all due respect to LA, let's try him out against the Kiss. We feel our defense is good enough that we can hold the Kiss to 28, 38 points, something around there. Here they are at 40. We feel like, hey, if it doesn't work through 2 quarters, we can always fall back on Kaufman. Let's roll the dice and see what happens with our rookie. Juggling catch made by DeMarco Sampson. I mean, we were in agreement before the game off camera. We felt this was the right play right now, going with the rookie. And not out of desperation, but because of upside and what this guy can do. And he's done his homework. He's paid his dues. He deserved it.
And not a negative to Kaufman. Kaufman's a solid quarterback. It just, you need a spark. That's why you've got multiple quarterbacks on your roster. And at least tonight anyway, Smith has been a significant X factor to the Spokane offense.
I mean, these are Meyer-esque kind of stats. 23 of 29, so 6 incompletions all night. 313 yards, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, and remember also a rushing touchdown to boot. We're at the 1-minute warning with Spokane leading this one big against LA, in line for win number 2. 1 minute away, it's 68-40. Tonight's arena football coverage sponsored in part by Fasteners of Washington, Idaho, and Montana. Stop by and see them today. Fasteners got bolts. 3rd down and 6 for the LA Kiss. 1 minute to play. Throw over the middle. Cox. This is Sampson inside the 20, down at the 15. So a big play on 3rd and 6 to move the chains. 26 yards on that reception. Pass thrown by the backup Joe Clancy, who looks like he'll be in for the duration of this game with Baziner out with an apparent hand injury. 30 seconds to go. Flags on the play, throw into the end zone, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
That is a live ball off the top of the dasher board unless it hit a fan. I want to see that replay.
That's a good point, Mike. It could have gone, it went off the top of the wall. The question is, with the way it caromed back, did it go off a fan or did it go just off the padding? Here's Kataya again.
Illegal formation offense. Tight end was covered. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 2nd down.
All right, so we're queuing up that replay.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
Now, the dasher board's live. So let's see. If the ball goes, hits the dasher board, that is an interception, folks. The referee made a major mistake by being too early with the signal and assuming the ball was going to fly over the dasher board.
Mike Peterson all over it. Again, I say Chris Collinsworth, take that. Mike's like the guy that is at the blackjack table and he came in with 20 bucks. He's up by 100 and then he doesn't get the right odds on the blackjack and he's all over it. He wants more. Call the interception. 3rd down and 15. Incomplete. Great coverage there by Sam Pope. Tell you, there are some guys in the secondary playing very well. Sam Pope among them. That is now 7 passes broken up.
Well, and here you go. Now you've got 2 players now hurt on this play. And let's just go back. If the official was not quick with the whistle, let the play develop, Spokane. Two guys get hurt on one play. Now look at this. Ball's overthrown. Now see, the official's not even looking at the ball, and this is very astute. Possession against the dasher board, that comes down inbounds. That is an interception. You can see the official not even being aware and letting the play continue.
Now what if you saw there was one fan reaching out for the ball at the same time? I believe it was Devon Dace.
that
what do
would
you know
be
about
fan
that?
interference. But here you can see
So
it goes
look,
off the top.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
as
fan.
he's going in right there's a fan.
As long as you have possession and then you carry it into the fan, you're fine.
Okay, but I think Dace was going at, even though the play was whistled dead beforehand, and I know that's your point. I'm just saying, I think as Dace went in, I think it was also almost in the clutches of a fan. But your point, and the one I agree with, is the play was already whistled dead before Dace even had a chance to get to the ball.
Look at the official's body language or body trajectory and eyes. Was not even looking towards the dasher board. He was tunnel visioned. He was closing in on the play, not fully understanding the context of that play. You can see he's just totally zooming in on the two players.
But I'm talking right there, simultaneous between Dace and the fan.
Nonetheless,
but your point, you cannot whistle that play dead before it falls basically incomplete. I think the moment it went through the receiver's hands, it was whistled dead.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
With the ball in the air, you can see he's waving it off. He did not let the play to fully develop. He was impatient with the whistle.
And we're doing this to illustrate this for you folks at home, whether you're watching for Spokane or for Los Angeles. Now, at the end of the day, it doesn't mean a whole lot, but it's those kind of plays that can define the ending of a game. And had this been a closer game, this would be a play that would come back to haunt Spokane.
Well, yeah. What if it's a one possession game?
See, incomplete right there, and it's still a live football. That's still a live football.
That's an interception.
I love Dace, the fact that he's still going after the football. He's into this game enough to know that's a live football still.
Absolutely.
But now they're looking right now here at what?
Well, it's too late because we've got a couple plays in the meantime. So I don't know if they're looking at, play clock or whatever, but this
Can they
is a
hear you right now,
play.
Mike? Do you want to let them know that they missed it?
This is
off the dasher board.
But this is the subsequent play, and you've got a Spokane Shock player injured and an LA Kiss player injured. Unnecessary.
Are we ready to let it go?
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. We don't like to see injuries. It's part of the game. No. That's the two unnecessary injuries as a result of that.
Now, we had Taylor in our Faster Sports studio earlier. He's one of the guys who was down. Great guy to talk to. Student of the game and a leader on this football team. And you see Truesdale is back at the MAC linebacker position. So here we go after the official timeout. 16 seconds to play. 3rd down and 15. Tyron Lewis, high motion man. And another incomplete pass. Oh, fan went over. Get right back in. Oh, that's not a good landing to get back in. That's a 2 fail. Not only a fail, he got the ball though, I guess.
How many beers do you think he pounded down tonight?
Well, he's going to need some after, I think. Well, Timber.
Oh boy.
He kept his pants up. That's good.
Yep, kept the hat on, the pants up.
He's got the otter box for the phone too. Thank goodness for that. Oh, yeah, it's full moon out tonight in Spokane.
Yeah.
4th and 15. And a complete pass. I'm telling you, this is an interesting wrinkle to the Spokane defense. We had heard whispers of it before the game. I'm talking about Truesdale playing at the MAC linebacker position. And I thought at first I was a little hesitant because, he's still trying to figure out route running as a wide receiver. How on earth can he now split time playing defense? But he occupies so much space, Mike. He's sitting there in the box, wingspan, hands up in the air. I tell you, that could be a game changer down the stretch for Spokane. Just another X factor.
Big old power forward in there at the jack linebacker.
Incomplete with 4 seconds to play.
Nick Truesdale and Devin Dace on the coverage. Makes up 2nd down.
I just hope with these unnecessary extra plays, no one gets injured.
All right, so this could be the final play of the game right here. 2nd down and goal from the 4. Spokane would like to put one final exclamation mark on this one. They got to get the play off. They're going to have to take a delay of game. Either that or use their final timeout. I think they got the time out off in time, did they not?
Delay a game offense. That is the 4th offensive foul against LA. That makes it a bonus and creates a 10-yard penalty rather than a 5-yard penalty. Second out.
Now in the NFL, it would be a clock runoff and the game would be over.
Fittingly enough, remember that's how the second quarter ended.
Yes.
Turnabout
4
is fair
seconds.
play.
Yes.
I'd love to see him say that to them. Well, we had a chain problem again. Lewis, high motion. Throw is into the end zone and caught. So not an exclamation point, but a period as Spokane will get the win, but a game-ending touchdown for the LA Kiss. And we'll get one final point after, and then that's going to do it. I want to remind you to stay tuned after the conclusion of this game, which is a point away, for our post-game show. So it looks like they're going to line up for 2 here.
Guess the only drama would be if the point spread was 20, 21, or 22. You're
and my friends,
really caring about this.
If you're betting on Arena Football League, you've hit rock bottom. Uh-oh. Here's Micah King. He's already got 1 touchdown. Why not make it 2? Cuts back inside. Oh. That would have been an exclamation mark.
That would have been
Micah
hilarious.
King still puts the final touches on this one as Spokane wins in a rout. 22-point win for the Shock, 68-46. And a dandy of a debut for our Triple Play Family Fun Park Player of the Game, where fun is always in season. Warren Smith. We'll look to interview him in our post-game show, and we'll try to get on the horn with the joystick. Mike Washington, got to get a nickname for that young man, Warren Smith, as well. 68-46 the final. When we come back, your post-game wrap-up from inside Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. The Shock on top with win number 2. Timber down, go the Kiss. Law in the house, laying the law down is the Shock, winning this one, taking win number 2 on the season, 68-46. That's Sam Pope. And defense played well enough to keep the LA Kiss out of the end zone in the end. Again, securing a 22-point victory. Shock moving to 2-4 on the season after that heartbreaking loss last week against New Orleans. And Mike Washington joining us now. This is a great way to bounce back for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good win, man. We can't give it. Anytime you give a team life, man, any team in this league can beat you. So we just want to put our foot on the gas pedal and not let up, and make a statement game for next week. And next week is a big game.
Mike, we know this isn't just about the quarterback, but if you could put into words how important it is to have a guy that has the hearts and minds of the guys in the locker room, in the huddle, and executes the game plan. Carson Kaufman played well. Warren Smith really found a different level here tonight. Were you at all surprised, and how important is he to this team?
Warren he just got a burning passion of getting better and understanding the game, and he command the huddles well, man. And you need a quarterback where all the guys can rally around and have faith in you, man, on the field and off the field. And Warren's he's that type of guy, man. Always fiery, always want the best out of you. Him and AO is kind of similar when it comes to the attitude of the game and the approach.
So some comparisons between Andy Olson and the quarterback, Warren Smith, kind of working side by side. You had a great game, 4 more touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken, along with 129 yards receiving. But I want to talk about a play that you actually had your hand on when you didn't make the touchdown, but you helped on the touchdown. When you were providing the escort service with the blocking, I believe it was Rashad Carter with the touchdown. Can you just talk about how you guys are all pulling for each other as a receiving corps?
As a receiver corps, it's only a good, handful of our guys. So it's a close-knit group. And we all on the same page, man. Me and my veteranship and what I bring to the game, it's all about just communicating. You know, Rashad is his second year. Nick, he's still learning the game. Amel's still learning the game. But we all a cohesive group, man. We meet outside of football, and we do a lot of things together. So as long as we're on the same page, and, you know, everybody's talented, and so as long as the play come their way, man, I had nothing but confidence in them making the play.
Mike, something that jumped out at me tonight was the physicality you all brought as a receiving core towards the defensive backs for L.A. Was that in the game plan, or is that something that just evolved throughout the game? Because the blocking and just the level of physicality seemed very high tonight.
Yeah, that's always in the game plan, but I think TT's pregame speech brought it out in everybody. You know, the defense always focused on being disciplined, rallying to the ball, being violent, and playing with a nasty attitude. And I think that, you know, with TT's speech pregame, I think that brought that out on everybody. We just carry that momentum to all 4 quarters, which we need to do every game.
Talking about Terrence Taylor, who also had a part of a big speech after the New Orleans game.
Yes. So what were some of the messages that Terrence Taylor had for the team tonight that inspired you?
It was just nice, simple, and just everybody understood, man. Like, you're not going to get a long Vince Lombardi speech. It was just, you know, explicit, play hard, explicit, and, you know, go win the game.
Just enough.
Yeah.
Mike, it succinct it to the point. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
Nice
Joystick having a great game, 68-46 the final. Let's try to get the quarterback on the horn. Dandy of a debut, as we said, Warren Smith, 6 touchdown passes, our triple play family fun park player of the game. And first thing he wanted to do when we got him on the sidelines is give a shout out to his mom back home in New Jersey on Mother's Day weekend. And do we have Warren on the headset? Not yet. We got Shocks the Fox, though.
Well,
were you surprised at all by the play of Warren tonight? I mean, you had to have expectations, but he had to exceed them.
He played darn near perfect in his debut, and I did not expect near perfect in a debut for an AFL rookie. So he clearly exceeded my expectations tonight. The big question is, can he repeat that next week? This was the worst team in the league. Now, arguably the best team in the league was San Jose next week.
It's going to take this kind of game and maybe even better. I mean, San Jose, folks, undefeated, best team right now in the Arena Football League. The status is their starting quarterback, former Shock and former AFL MVP Eric Meyer. His status still up in the air, but they have a deep roster, Mike, and even their backups are better than many starters around this league.
Well, and their defense is unbelievable. Leads the league in sacks, and so Smith had no sacks tonight. Going to be a different story going against that San Jose defensive front next week.
And folks, we'll want to let you know, if you haven't done so, remember every weeknight we have live coverage from inside the Fastener Sports Studio. Tonight, John Collette and Lindsey Joy will have all of your highlights. We'll have post-game reaction from the players in the post-game podium. Plus, we'll have a wrap-up with Mike Peterson and myself. For Mike, up here in the press box, Tom, Chad, Steve, everybody else in the truck, who they've been run ragged, folks. They have more work tomorrow. We got everybody, Scott, everybody, come on. They're going to be busy. We're going to be busy. Andy Olson and company are rolling, folks. They win at 68-46 the final. We'll see you next Saturday, 4 p.m. against the SaberCats.